All right, let's see if everything is working now. We are here. Welcome, everybody to day 7 of the AI Launch Formula. I'm Dr. Connie Scavello, and we are talking about the battle for your mind today. And there is a battle. There's a battle out there to try and get you distracted from what you want to be, what you want to achieve, and what you want to have. And the battle is getting pretty fierce. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you an arsenal of tools and resources that you can use to combat that. Because if you're trying to make a big difference in your world, let's say you've been kind of coasting along in life and now you want to change everything. You're like, you know what? I am tired of playing small. I have been doing the same thing over and over and over again, and I'm not getting any different results. We all know what that means. So today we're going to talk about what if you could just change a little thing? What if it took you less than about an hour a week to do one thing, and it would completely change the results that you're going to have in your life? And that is what we're talking about today. I'm really glad that you guys are here because this is one of the most pivotal things that you're going to learn in building out your own launch formula. Now, obviously, we're here to help you with that. And you've seen some videos of some different things that we can do with you and for you. But I really want to dive into what's going to be happening in your mind so that you can know how to predict your own outcome. And that's really the power of it all, right? If you know exactly what your outcome is, wouldn't you just 100% go for it? So if you guys are here right now, let me know who's here. I know it is a Sunday, and for some of you, I pulled you out of bed. Some of you are having brunch. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know if this is your first time or how many days in this workshop have you been here, because we want to kind of pick up where we left off, right? We've been talking about the SOAR formula and how does it apply to your business and to your launches? Because if you can use all the different methodologies of AI, then we want you to be able to use that rather than you getting used by it. And if you guys have a copy of my book, SOAR, we talk about what we're going to talk about today in here a lot. And if you got my email, please check emails, because as of this morning, 3 of our team have been hacked, including me. So I have no idea what's going on, but gosh, talk about stealing your mind for that, right? So in here, I talk a little bit about that. And, we talk about singularity, but there's other people that talk about the singularity. Big difference, okay? And if you want my opinions on that, go in there and read it. If you don't have that book, just go ahead and go to thesoarquiz.com, thesoarquiz.com, and you can take a quiz and you can see what is it that is holding you back, right? What is it that is your superpower? But you also have some kryptonite, right? And we have different, and we're talking about the R today, okay? We have different cubes, different blocks that are holding us back. So today we're going to unleash all of them and then show you how to move forward. Does that sound good to you guys? Okay, let's get going. And if you have taken the SOAR quiz, type down below, what is your number? I mean, what is your letter? Are you an S, O, A, or R? Okay. And because how you are, we can actually work with that, right? If you're like, oh, this has always been a problem, no problem going forward. Okay. And we're giving you the antidote today. And it is really kind of fun. So I want to start with, where you guys might be, okay? And when people come to us, you see my head here, right? We have all kinds of things going on in our head. And what we want to do is clear it out, okay? We showed you our model, right? Is a cube, okay? We want your mind to be this clear, because when you don't have clarity, you really can't move forward. So here's what's happening. When you guys come to us, a lot of times there's something wrong, okay? And your head is filled with all kinds of stuff in there, all right? And what that stuff is their chains, okay? And these are chains to your past. And what we do when you come work with us is we're going to remove all of these chains, okay? And where am I going to put them all? In the trash, okay? And there's all this noise in your head. You can't move forward, right? So what we have to do is get rid of it, okay? And even just one little link, okay? You think, well, that's just a little piece. Guess what? It's going to have more and more and more that are going to hook onto it, okay? So when you go through our process and you go through the AI launch formula using SOAR, okay, this is what it looks like. You're perfectly clear, right? Now you have room for new information and you have room for the right information, but you're also not going to fill up your head. All right. You're only going to add what is absolutely necessary. And that's what we're going to be doing with you when you come into the Iconic Leadership Academy. Now, this is the 21-day mind mastery program that I'm going to share with you guys today. And this is something that I developed out of a need. I had discovered that I had compound PTSD. Are you guys familiar with PTSD? A lot of veterans get it when they come back from the war. A lot of people got it in 9/11 and they saw people jumping from buildings. A lot of people got triggered by it during the pandemic. And you're like, why am I suddenly like not myself? Have you noticed that? Like, I don't have that same kind of drive and vigor, and I'm sort of more apathetic, and you're wondering, why is that? You probably had a trigger that was reactivated that triggered something. And compound PTSD, are there any mindset people in here? If you do that, let me know, let me know what kind of business you have. But where does this come from? It's because when you're in a situation that you have no control over and you cannot see a way out, okay? That's how it gets triggered. Now, in my case, I had compound, so I had multiple incidents of that. And one of the root causes was being in an abusive relationship. It was primarily emotionally abusive. And I did everything I could because I knew all this stuff to try and buffer myself from it. But 10 years, oh my gosh, the first 3 years were okay. The last 7 years, I call that my near-death experience, right? Because I almost died from that toxicity. And this is why I created this program, because I used to be like this, bright light. And then I just got lower and lower and lower and more sad and pathetic. And it was just, you wouldn't recognize me a couple of years ago to today. And I could not get out of it. Right. I felt like that commercial with the lady with that alert button, right? It's like, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. And I've fallen, my consciousness level and joy and everything fell, and it just went down, 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 right? I was basically pushed down and I couldn't get out of it. And I tried a lot. Okay, maybe you guys have tried a lot of things to get yourself back to what you really know your potential is, right? And so when I discovered, so I've been teaching for 12 years around the country on this topic of consciousness and mind work and predictable human behavior. And we created all these meditations that will reprogram your mind, and they're fabulous. But I couldn't get out of my own way. And so I thought, I got to face this. I just got to focus right hard on this. And I said, I'm going to stop everything, stop my classes, stop everything, no more therapeutic clients. And I'm just going to focus on me. I hired 6 of the best in the country, the best psychologists and people who could help me with my PTSD, because I know if I didn't, I'd be like some of my clients who were dealing with it for 8, 10, 12, 15 years. And they just keep circling and circling and circling. You ever know somebody who's like, oh, come on, you're still dealing with that? Well, I didn't want to be one of those. So I gave myself 6 months to get better. And I was on the couch basically every single day of the week with different doctors just trying to heal. Okay. And what happened after 6 months? Voila, right? Nothing. I was worse. And I found out a couple things that none of the people, although they're experts in their field, and one of them I do actually think is phenomenal, who probably helped me the most, was Bessel van der Klerk. And, but none of them really had this experience. So they weren't walking in my shoes. They were clinically telling me what I should be doing, but they really didn't know. So they didn't really know what was going on the inside, what I really felt, all the secret deep down things that I couldn't even express, right? I didn't even have words. I didn't know how to get myself out of my own mistakes and my own problem. And so finally, after 6 months, and and nothing happened. I was so frustrated. I said, well, I'm going to figure this out myself. And I took information that I had been through, right? I told you guys some of the trauma I had as a kid and how I got over that. And I took what happened to me in my near-death experience, which I write about in the book Soar. And the first part of it is that experience. And then how do I apply that experience to business and to life and to make millions of dollars? And so I thought, well, with all I've been through and all I've studied, I studied for 12 years personally with Dr. David Hawkins. I've had some of the best minds around me. And I thought, I'm just going to make up my own program. I'm going to make up my own methodology because nothing out there is working for me. And it's a lot like what I did with my business, right? It's like I hired all the coaches and I was going down, 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 down. I thought, well, I got to do something with my mind. Okay. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to try this thing. I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. I just knew little bits and pieces of things that worked. And I reverse engineered what was working. I had kept journals for years and I looked back at the times when I did have improvement. And then I put this program together. And it takes 10 minutes a day. I recommend you do it in the morning. And it takes 10 minutes a day. Of course, in the traditional 4-square methodologies that we use, right? Everything is in 4s because you can't have too much. Your brain thinks in patterns and it thinks in pictures. And so I had to create pictures and patterns for my brain to transform. And so I did that. And I have 4 steps and I did that. Now, what I did differently than the entire self-help, mental movement, law of attraction, all the, sit on crystals and hum, all of that stuff is I pretty much went the opposite of what they're doing, right? That's a almost $1 trillion industry. And I did the opposite because I looked at all the people and they're not changing. They're just addicted to the process. Okay. And so they get a feel good for a minute, but they never actually transform. And there's no sense in doing anything if you're not going to have a whole transformation. So I just did this and I used a concept of 21 days to form a habit. Right. And in that 21-day process, I created different things that I would go through. And I used my meditations that we had created to make it work. Okay. And so it was really kind of crazy, honestly. I was like, what is going on? Why is this happening? But I just did it. I didn't have any expectation. And guess what happened? After 10 years of compound PTSD and 6 months of working with 6 to 8 different doctors to try and get over PTSD, and nothing happened, on day 19, not even 21 days, on day 19, I was completely transformed. I remember exactly where I was standing, what I was wearing, and I went to pick up, this is the workbook that you'll get, okay? I went to pick up this workbook to write in it, and it was like, oh my gosh, the clouds parted, the angels sang, oh, and instantly I was healed. Like there was no trace of any PTSD anymore. I was like, wow. And I wasn't sure if it really worked. I was so down in the dirt, right? And it was miraculous. I felt as good as I felt when I came back from my near-death experience, right? Which, calibrated me really high. And I felt just as good, if not better. I thought, wow, this worked. But I was a little skeptical. I kept going the 21 days and I did it again. And I just get better and better and better. I was like, this is amazing. And then I started doing it on my therapeutic clients and they had miraculous results. I have really long letters from people that were dealing with things for 10 years and like, it's gone. I'm like, I know, isn't it great? And it was so simple, like 7 to 10 minutes in the morning. I do a couple little things about 7 or 8 times a day. That doesn't take more than 2 minutes. And that was it. And I thought, wow. Now, what I did differently than most people is a lot of people tell you to go journal, right? And I found that journaling a lot is the opposite of what you want to have happen. And people are actually locking in all the trauma and all the sadness and all the thing you're trying to get over. When you start writing all of that down, especially for long periods of time and reliving it, it gives you the exact opposite result of transformation. And so I'm like, I am really onto something. So it was working for me. It worked for my clients. I tested it for 3 solid years before I ever let anybody else do it. And then I brought it out and I gave it to my really high-end clients because they're paying me $60,000 to $100,000 a year. And I wanted them to get this amazing result. Most of them come to me because they had an existential crisis. Like they have all the money, they have all the stuff, they got the right partner, and they're like, and I feel empty. Like I don't know what my life is for. I don't understand my purpose or why I exist or what I should do next. I have it all and I have nothing at the same time. I said, well, this might be perfect. I put all of them on it. Again, miraculous results. The skies parted, the angels sang, long letters of thank you, thank you, thank you. And I thought, wow. And so now by this time I'm healed, right? And I get into doing what I'm doing right now and helping entrepreneurs. And I thought, well, let me just offer it as an option for people to try it. I don't make it mandatory like I do with my high level clients, just as an option. And so everyone who did it, and we did a test, and we kind of made it clinical and paired people up and took the stats, and they had to submit all this stuff because I really wanted to see, like, I used to work in the medical field. And so we would do a lot of clinical trials, and I wanted to see it like a trial. Okay. If they didn't have to do it, would they do it? Okay. And they did. Everybody finished it and everybody got the result. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so now I decided if people could do this, there'd be things in your life that you may have tried and you didn't do so well because you didn't have your mind right about it. Okay. And so originally I thought, well, if I release this publicly, I thought, the best place to do it is for people who take all those programs and courses, right? You guys know anybody like that? And they take them, they don't open them, they don't finish them. Imposter syndrome sets in, inferiority comes in, and procrastination, all those things come up and you feel worse and worse. And then you feel FOMO and FOPO, right? Fear of missing out and a fear of other people's opinions. That's what FOPO is. It's a real clinical term. And so all these things would stop people. I thought, wow, what if I could just get this program in the hands of everybody that puts out a course? And they would have massive transformations because most courses, those self-directed on-demand things, do you know the success rate is only 0.4%? If you're taking a course, it's about a 96% chance that you are not going to finish it or even start it. And so I thought, oh, that would be great. But the problem is, I want to make sure people succeed and I want to guide them along the way. And you'll have questions like, oh, how does this work? And how does this work? And hey, this is what's happening in my brain. Is this right? Or am I doing this right? Right? And so I wanted to be there. I'm a little bit of a mother hen, right? And I wanted to be able to answer those questions. But if it's in all these people's hands, and then I thought, well, they're not going to follow the instructions right. Maybe they'll just do it part-time and then they'll say it doesn't work because they didn't actually do it. Okay. So this program is so transformational. You're going to do it for 21 days. Okay. And you're going to get all the instructions. I'll show you some of the stuff and you'll pick something like right now, just put something down in the comments so I can see what would be one thing you would love to get rid of. What's a habit or a way of thinking or something that's holding you back? Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe you have poverty consciousness. You're always thinking about money. Maybe you're jealous. Maybe you have addictive traits. It could be anything. Okay. Maybe you're OCD. Maybe you're ADD, right? Just like, oh, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Okay. So you have something. There's something that you would love to get rid of. And if you could get rid of it, you'd just be taking off. So put that thing down. Just write that down. Now, if that was just one thing, imagine what that one thing out of your life would do for your business. Let's say it's procrastination. Okay. Like you start something and you never finish. So you go on to something else or something else. And maybe just doing that and you actually finish one program or you finish one course, that might bring you $50,000. Okay. But here's the thing. When you do this program, all these links, right? We talked about all these links. These are all going to go away. But there's a lot of them that you have. There's a lot of things that are connected to the next thing, right? And so let's say you want to get rid of procrastination. But procrastination and that habit is tied to your money worries, right? And what happens when you have money worries? You probably soothe yourself by eating, right? And then maybe your health is bad, okay? And then your health is bad, and now you have health issues and you can't sleep. And now you put that on top of it. And now, because you can't sleep, you're very agitated and you fight a lot with your partner, and you put that on. And all these things just start to pile and pile up, okay? So here's what we're going to do with this program. I'm just going to pull this out here for a second so that you guys can see. Yes, we still have Kindles, and we still have 2 iPads. We're giving these away. Okay. All you have to do is book your call. And for those of you who are coming into the academy, you will get, it's the first 5 of each. You can either get you choose if it's your iPad or the Kindle. Okay. And we will give these to you as soon as you start in the Iconic Leadership Academy program. Now, the difference has been dramatic. The difference of people using the 21-day mind mastery and not using it with their business program is night and day. It's 100% difference. Okay. Imagine if you could have 100% better results than you do right now. What would that do? Now, here's the next thing. It's compounded. Okay. It's not just double or triple or 10x. Okay. It's 17x. So here's what happens. If you think there's one thing that's holding you back, and it's tied to a few other things, when you do this in a year, because you're going to work with me for a year in the academy, so I'm going to give you this program, and it only takes 10 minutes a day. There's 4 simple steps, and guess what? The same steps that you use to fix your mind are the same steps that you're going to use to scale your business to 7 figures. But you can knock out 17 different habits and things like that. Okay. 17 things are going to disappear. Things that are holding you back. You might not even think you have 17, but if one thing could make you $50,000, what could 17 do? It could definitely take you over $1 million. And this is the number one reason why I went from 0 to $1.4 million in 9.5 months. And same thing with my clients. If you saw the information that we gave you guys the other day about Chris, from negative $350,000, and I worked with him on this exclusively, okay? And he went to $1 million in 9 months, $2 million in 1 year, $5 million in 2 years. He's currently at $12 million a year. He sold over 1 million copies of his book. Why? Just working on this, okay? And so I want to give this to you guys. And it has all the instructions. You're going to get this journal. And notice this is a really thin journal, okay? You're going to do this 21-day process 3 times, okay? And there's a reason. First, you got to get the toxic thought out. That's cycle 1. Cycle 2, you got to bring in the new habit change that you want, okay? And then cycle 3 is it's all going to go together. Then it's going to be locked in. We call it automatizing, right? So that you don't even have to think about it. Right? You know how if you're like, okay, I'm on a diet, you got to think about it. The 3rd cycle locks it in. So it doesn't come back and you don't have to think about it every day. And the beauty is you can layer them and do more and more and more and more. And it's just a habit. It's just a 7 to 10 minute habit is what we found in our testing. 7 to 10 minutes that will take you through everything. So you'll get the book. Okay. And you'll get these meditations. So we've got these meditations, and these are designed. Hold on a second. I'm going to destroy my set here. Okay. These are the meditations that you're going to get. And these go with the different brain waves. Okay. So you have alpha, beta, delta, gamma, and theta. Okay. Those are the different brain waves and different cycles. And you will also get an app. Okay. And this can be an app. It's all AI, right? So this app you can use on your PC, you can do it on a phone, you can do it on a tablet. And so it doesn't matter where you are, you will get it. And we have these meditations also built in. So you don't have to say, okay, it's day 19. What one am I supposed to do? You don't even have to think. I've already programmed it in. And it's also using technology so that you can't cheat, you can't skip, and you can't move ahead. Okay, so that means it has a no failure rate. Okay, now we also add in a human touch, and so you have an accountability partner. Okay, so this helps build your leadership in business, but it also locks in the changes and transformations in your mind, because no matter what you try, no matter how much money you make, if you don't address what's in your mind and the things that are holding you back, you will lose. And if you know that over 75% of all millionaires have lost it at least once. Okay, at least once. In fact, I almost look for it. I want to know, did you ever have a really good run and then you lost it all? It could have been a 2008 mortgage crash. It could have been a lot of things, and something knocked you down. A lot of people don't know how to get back up. And so this will help you. So once you take a process and you run it through 21 Day Mind, you don't have to do it again and again and again and again. All right. So does it take 21 days to form this new habit? You guys might have read Atomic Habits or Secret of Happiness and all of those things. And they talk about cues and that sort of thing, right? So that's really great stuff. This is just at a whole different level. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this. You're going to get all of the meditations, okay, that I just showed you here. That just all fell apart. And we call these mind meds, okay? So every month, right, for the 12 months that we're working together, this is the only medication that you need, okay? So you're going to get the mind meditations, and we also have it on an app, like a podcast. Okay, so you'll get those meditations actually wherever you are. If you're in traffic and you see road rage and you can just put that on and have it play. Okay, so we made them for different scenarios of your life. There's nothing you have to learn. It doesn't take long, and it's only one page. Okay, so this is all you do. You just take a couple notes. You do not write long. It doesn't take a long time. No step is more than 2 minutes. All right. And if you talk to anybody in our academy, they will tell you it is the most fun. This is like you playing. Again, this is definitely not work. If you feel like I can't meditate or I'm not visual, this isn't that. Okay. You are not sitting and meditating and watching water rise and all that stuff. Okay. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I understand all of that, but this is not what that is. Okay. This is working on a deeply spiritual, scientific, and consciousness levels. Okay. So it's going into your brain. And we talked about when we were looking at your brain the other day, right? And there's these different parts of your brain. So the different meditations, those different color meditations and brain cycles are going to work based on what's happening here in your brain. Okay. As you go through the 21 days, different parts of your mind are triggered. Right. And if you've ever wondered why when you start something before the week is over, you quit, it's because you didn't know how to tap into these parts. Okay. The inner parts of your brain. And you don't have to consciously do it. The program will do it for you. All right. And it's triggered. So there's all kinds of different chemicals and things like dopamine and what are all the serotonin and oxytocin, all these chemicals that go in your brain, right? Make you feel good. Well, we actually program this to trigger those, okay, so that you always feel good. So here's the difference, okay? Let me show you this. Hopefully this will play right for you, because I want you to understand the difference on what this is. Okay, you might have seen this. Let me just go back for a second here. So the battle for your mind, you have to master that. And there is the battle, right? Is it AI or is it the human mind? But see, these drugs, people think, okay, I got to get dopamine, feel good, or serotonin and relax me. Is that really what I need? Or is it my EQ, my emotional or my intellectual intelligence, right? Is that what you need to focus on? Or is it body or is it mind? That's one of the things we asked you in the SOAR quiz, right? Oh, it's my body is the issue. No, it's my mind is the issue. Okay. Oh, this is all good. No, this is all bad, right? And then people, think, well, is it my head or is it my heart? Like, I'm an empath. I feel everything for everyone. And other people are like, well, I'm logical. I don't have that emotional part. Well, I'm rational. I'm this thing. Okay. And people are always left and right, left and right. And this is what this isn't. Okay. Because when you go into this left, right thing, you become dualistic. That gets into separation. And so what we're trying to do here is we're going to merge the two. Okay. And bring in that left side and the right side and put it into one whole complete system. Okay. So you don't have any dualism. Okay. So basically you're dealing with non-duality. That's how you win. It's not left side or right side or intellectual or logical. It's actually higher. Okay. And so you saw there Beyond Mindset. That's my book that will be coming out this year. And it's talking all about that from all of the studies that we've done and everything. So, and if you're coming into the Iconic Leadership Academy, I will get you a copy of my new book, Beyond Mindset. And so we'll put you on our ARC team and get you a copy of that. So I just want you to know there's something that you can do that you're just not even tapped into. Now, I want to introduce you to a guest real quick. So I have a guest here that I want to introduce you to. And in order to introduce you to my guest, this guest will kind of help you understand why you get stuck. Okay, maybe you can relate to my guest's story. And if you could just understand this thing, I'm going to give you a homework assignment in a second. And this homework assignment will be able to instantly in the middle of a drama in your mind or in your house or wherever, you can instantly break free from all of this mind stuff that is holding you back. Okay. And it's all without work. Okay. So I want you guys to understand how that works. What we really want to tap into is the empire of our mind, right? It's not mindset. Okay. It's not just a mindset, because that entails that it is set. Okay. And that you can't change it, and that you can only have this, I was born with this, a fixed mindset or not. Okay. And there's lots of valid backing to that in science, but it's still above that. And until I had my near-death experience, I didn't get it. I thought it was very black and white, right? But it isn't. So this is important because it's going to affect your business. And this program integrates all of the AI so that it doesn't take over and you don't have to fear it, but you can actually run your mind like a computer in a way, right? And you're going to get these neuro tracks, okay? And you're going to be talking in a language with your brain, okay, so that you can reprogram it to have the transformation. And these neuro tracks, you're going to learn the right time to do them, the right order, the right person, like what do you do for you, okay? And if you're going to use it with others, then you know how to use them with others. And then the right transfusion, like how do you do it, how often, and what is the mechanism, right? What do you think, what do you say, how do you move, okay? So these are the brain tracks that you are going to be working with. And guess what? These are the same thing that we incorporate in up-level sales system. So like I said, you're not learning two separate things. You're learning one methodology, 4 square methodologies that are all above in high levels of consciousness. If you're familiar with the map of consciousness, so everything that we teach is at the consciousness level at 500 and above. And so if you want to know more about that, you can ask me or look for Dr. David Hawkins. Okay. So, and Angie is here as well. So Angie is using this program as well. She came to me as a therapeutic client first. You're going to hear her story, and she mastered her mind. And then she said, now I'm ready to do my business. She went from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. And in a business she didn't even know what it was. She had no idea. What's that? She'd say, right? So same thing for you. I want you to have a transformation. And so here's how this works. There's somebody who's quite famous, infamous maybe, that I want to introduce you to. And how I met this person was kind of interesting. Okay. And I'm going to share her story, her bio with you a little bit. Okay. So, how did I meet this person? Okay. And so I first met her through the grocery store. Okay. And she was running into the grocery store in a hurry, had to just get a couple things, had her little daughter with her, right? And picked her up, put her in the car, little fat little thighs in between the thingies, and she's running through, and she just thought, I just need a few minutes. But no, her little daughter was all out of control. Mommy, 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 I want this, right there in the cereal aisle. Mom, 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 I want this, I want this, I want this. And she's like, Monica, relax. It's okay. We're not here that long. Okay. We are just going to be here for a few seconds, and then we're going to leave. And then when we go home, I will get you a nice little surprise. Okay. I'll get you a nice snack, maybe some grapes. You love grapes, right? Okay. So they keep going along and up and down the aisles. And there she goes again. Mom, 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 I want this, I want this, I want this. And you know how it is. And they get louder and louder and louder. And she's like, not now, Monica, not now. Everything is going to be fine. Just a couple more things. We'll only be here a few more minutes. And then we can go home and I'll give you a nice, cool, fruity drink. Okay. Straight up, no ice. Everything will be great. So just hold on just another minute. Okay, Monica? And so, you know how you go up and down the aisles and, there she goes again. Mom, mom, mom. Monica, not now. Relax, Monica. It's okay. I got this. Okay. We're almost done. And then, you know how it is when, you're just like, what's the best thing to do? How about a nice warm bath? We'll go home and we'll have a nice warm bath. Okay, Monica? And so she's doing this up and down every aisle. Every aisle, there's new stuff that tempts her. And you know how you're going up and down the aisles, and then sometimes you notice that you're up and down the same aisle with somebody. And so there's this guy who noticed this going on, and they keep going up and down the same aisles, and kind of serendipitous, right? And so she's not even paying attention to that. She's just focused on getting Monica home and a nice, long, quiet nap, right? Have you ever had one of these experiences, right? Maybe you've seen other people and you're like, oh, thank God, that's not my child, right? So, and then she's almost done, okay? And now it's time to put everything on the conveyor belt and to check out, right? And sure as it would happen, the same guy ends up in the same aisle behind her. And he, sees this again, because you know what happens when you get into the checkout lane, right? Then you really see it. Oh, you see everything on the side. There's more candy, more chocolate. It's all within reach. And Monica's, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. Okay. And so this guy is watching this, and he kind of taps her on the shoulder and because she's like, Monica, look, Monica, there's the car. We're going to go in there just a minute. I'm going to be in the car. Everything will be fine. And she's trying to load all this stuff up as quickly as possible. And he taps her on the shoulder, and he's like, excuse me. And she's like, what? He goes, I was just in the store kind of going up and down the same aisles as you were. And she's not really patient right now. And he says, so, and I've just been watching you with your daughter and how patient and calm and relaxed you are with that. I just want to tell you, I'm really impressed. And she's like, what? She goes, my daughter is Teresa. I'm Monica. You get it? Okay. So what she is doing, okay? The out of control one is not the girl in the cart, okay? The out of control one is us, right? You have to figure out who's really running the show here, All right. You want to have the real Monica stand up, right? And identify what part of you is like that misbehaved little child and what part of you is in control. Okay. So I heard this story, and my mentor, Dr. Hawkins, said, when you have your ego going all over the place, you're not good enough, you'll never amount to anything, all that kind of stuff. You need to separate yourself from the ego. Okay. That's not you. That's not your higher self. That is your ego. And that ego is the one that is holding you back from everything you want. Okay. So what my mentor told me is to identify which is which. When you're in a hard situation, which is acting up? Is it you or is it your ego? Okay, so let me give you kind of an idea what that means. Okay, that ego is you. Okay, and it's like your alter ego. Okay, it's like the twin of you, and you want to be able to identify, like, which one is it really? Is it Superman or Clark Kent? Right? And it's hard to distinguish because you've had this person as your constant companion for decades, right? So what you need to do if you want to break free, you have to cleave away from that ego. You have to stop protecting your ego. You know how a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm going to just take the credit for that. I know they didn't mean to do that, but I will say I did it," right? You don't want to do that because you've got to figure out what is your Monica. Your Monica is either talking about abundance or your Monica is talking about absence. Okay. And your higher self is all about abundance. But if you find yourself talking about absence, loss, lack, and less, that's your Monica. Okay. And you have to make sure that that person does not take control over your life, because that's the difference, right? Your Monica lives in the past. You live in the present. Okay. Monica is also fearful of the future. Very, very fearful of the future. And she lives in the past. It's like there's a filing cabinet back here and it has everything you've ever done. And so you want to do something new. She's going to go, "Oh, wait, before we can move forward, before we could go into the Iconic Leadership Academy, before we can have a 7-figure business, let's see all the times you've tried to do this before and see what happens." And she'll go in there and look, and she'll go, no, we can't do that. I have no experience of how that looks and how that happened. And so she will say no. And so your ego is what? It's like the naysayer, it's the judge, it's the ruler. Okay. And no matter what you try, the number one answer you're going to get from your ego is no, 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 no. Okay. Ego stands for everything gets overruled. Everything gets overruled. Okay. So what do we do about that? So we have to figure out a way that opportunity doesn't wait. If you're listening to your ego, you will not be able to move forward. It doesn't have any experience of the present. It lives in the past. And so it doesn't even know, like, I feel really great right now, right? But you're not in your ego. When you think about something in the past, that's your ego. And so the reason I want you guys to understand these two things that I'm teaching you today is these blocks are going to keep you from where you want to go. I would love to have you join us and move forward into a 7-figure year and do it in a year, right? Not in 10 years. Okay. Not baby steps, not 3 steps forward and then pull back and then 2 steps forward and, oh, I should pivot, and like, oh, everyone's doing this. And you never actually go in a straight line. Okay. And so we have to work on your velocity and your trajectory. And Monica just wants to go on a roller coaster. Okay. So I want you guys to have a way out of this. All right. And the easiest way to get out of this is to identify. Okay. What is it? Your ego, your Monica, is always going to deny, and your higher self is going to declare, this is who I am. This is what I want. Is this making sense to you guys? Put it in the comments. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but 2 days ago, I got hacked on social media. This morning, half of my team got hacked. And so it's like Tally, who's our CFO, who I'm not going to wake her up on a Sunday, right? And Angie are the only ones who are unhacked. So they're working very hard to get you all this information. So if you have some of this stuff, if you know you want an appointment, if you want some replays, anything like that, we have those for you. We just want to make sure that we can get those for you. Okay. But you have to be a little patient with us because we can't over message you. We don't know what is going on. Okay. So we want to be careful that none of us get overexposed. So all you have to do is make comments here. We will follow up with you. If you would like, I have these cheat sheets on this, okay? And if you saw it in the opening video, I've got some cheat sheets on this so you can see how this works. And all you have to do is type hashtag 21day, hashtag 21day, and I can let you take a look at this. We also have this as a separate program that you can take, and it's a 5-day workshop actually that you can actually go through and see exactly how you have an iconic mind, okay? Because that's really what we're here to do, right? We have to be in the business of minding our business, right? That's really what we need to do. In order to have a business, we have to mind our business, okay? So if you do want a replay of what we're talking about, and so you can really look at how this works, we want to do that. But first, I want you guys, I'll take a closer look at this, okay? And I want you to see, how does this apply to you, okay? And how does this work in conjunction with the SOAR formula to grow your business and launch it? And because you're going to be learning AI and all this stuff, and it's all going to be new, and new is going to trigger your ego and make your ego freak out, okay? So as a result of all of that I learned to separate my ego from myself, that's when separation is good, okay? And one person is in charge. So I named my ego Monica. That's why I'll say my Monica, right? But I want you guys to know that you can't do this alone, okay? You need help growing your business and mastering your mind, because you can't, was it Einstein? You can't change your life from your present understanding, okay? So here's the perfect triad for you. This is what we want to do for you. We want to help you in the 3 best ways that we can do it. Number 1 is by coaching you, right? Guiding you side by side, right? And saying, okay, you go do this and then give me some feedback. How did that go? Okay. The second way is by being a consultant, where we say, do this and do this and do this and follow these steps. And we lay everything out for you, like in a template or a guide, or, walk you through step by step, look over our shoulder, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And that is when we're doing it with you. Okay. And then we do it for you. Like, let me just do it for you, right? I've done this 1,000 times. I'll just do it for you. Okay. Or I created that software program. I will do it for you. So those are the 3 ways that when you're looking to scale really big and to completely change where you are, you might think I only need, $10,000, $15,000 a month, but you're not even making 5. Okay. That's a triple. Okay. And that is going to upset Monica. So what I want you guys to do, first of all, is I want you to name your Monica. Okay. I want you to come up with a name for her. And this is the reason why. Otherwise, your brain isn't going to know to separate it out, okay? And then you're going to start thinking, I'm so slow, I'm not smart, I'll never make any money. No, that's just Monica's programming, right? She went back and she dug in that file cabinet and looked in old history when you didn't have all this knowledge and confidence and all this other stuff, and just keeps repeating something over and over and over and over and over to you from the past, and soon you start to believe it. And that is why you can never seem to go forward, okay? So it's sort of like, if you've ever heard of people doing sleep programming, or I remember when subliminals were big in movies and commercials. Okay, that's what your Monica is like. So what I want you guys to do is put a name for your Monica. Okay, put a name down in the comments, and that name should be something fun. Okay, so I picked Monica because I like that story, right? How she's just constantly talking to herself. Okay, stop it. Okay, we'll relax, right? And what you want to do is you're trying to get your Monica to sleep, right? You're trying to keep it passive so it doesn't act up. So you think of it like a vehicle. Okay, so you have one vehicle and 2 drivers. Who's going to drive your life? Is it going to be Monica, who is somewhere usually between 0 and 7 years old? Or is it going to be you? Imagine if a 7-year-old was driving you in a car. What are the results of that? You're going to crash. Okay. So you have to be in the driver's seat all the time. And so Monica, I like to say, just put her in the trunk. Okay. But strapped down in the back seat or asleep. Okay. So what is your Monica name? Before we go, I want you to put a Monica name down in the comments. Let me know what your Monica name is, because when you have those thoughts, then you want to put that in there. Let me see some of those. Is this Karen? Hold on just a second. Let me see. Oh, Linda. Okay, Kim. Okay, we've got a Kim. And let's see, Tony. Tony has Marie. Good morning, ladies. Who else? I know this one very well. Angie is Lisa. I don't like Lisa at all. Like, Monica and Lisa do not get along. We cannot have them working in the same office. Yeah, remember, why do we have to do it? Because the ego does one thing. It has one purpose, okay? Is to keep you absolutely safe. And the only way it believes to be safe is by doing something it's done before, okay? And everything gets overruled. Everything gets overruled. Oh, I want to go do this new thing. No, we can't. We're not good enough, right? Sharon's here. Let's see. Sharon, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Reminds me of the Tom Hanks movie, Jenny with the chocolate. What was that thing? Let's see. Let me see some more. Put them in there. I'm going to tell you a story of a client I had who just didn't like to play. She didn't have this play element about her. And you will notice play is a big element. If you want to have a successful business, you have to play a lot, have a lot of fun, right? We don't take ourselves seriously. I lost my ego. You can't offend me, right? The part of you that's so fearful of how you look and you get nervous and all that stuff is your ego, right? It's not real. It's just fake. So this girl, Forrest Gump, yes, Forrest Gump, that's a Jenny. Anyway, that's probably a very bad impression. But so she would not pick an ego name. I'm like, come on, you need to pick an ego name. And she like is a super fan of SOAR and everything. She goes on and on about this, the whole formula. She would not pick an ego name. And so if you don't pick an ego name, I'm going to give you an ego name. And so she was always, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And you know who it reminds me of? This will date me a little bit, but Little House on the Prairie and Nellie. Do you remember Nellie with the ringlets? And she's like, nope. Everything was no. Okay. And that was her. So I just started calling her Nellie every time she acted like her ego. And then it probably took 2 days. And then she's like, okay, I guess I am a Nelly. And then she adopted it. But it helps you, okay? You want to have these ego names, these Monica names for everyone that you're around. It will save you. It will save your marriage. Sharon, I know you do a lot of relationship work. And Tony, also, you do a lot of work with clients and leaders. This is a great thing to teach your clients, because what happens is when they act out, right, then you can call them out. Okay. So I'm like, oh, Nellie. And then every time I say Nellie to this woman, she goes, yeah. And you start to own it. You're like, oh, what? I was unconscious. That's really what's happening. We just went unconscious, right? And so we were asleep in the trunk. And she's like, oh, I am behaving like that. And you instantly get better, right? See, all change, 100% of change only happens in one place, and that's in a state of awareness. So that's why all of our teachings are way up here. That's why I back all of it up with science, so that you guys just go, oh, I don't think that'll work. No, I'm going to back everything up with science, so your ego, which wants to be all logical, cannot defend against it. Okay. And the whole 21-day mind mastery program has zero room for the ego. You could try to bring it in here and it will not come into this program. Okay. And that's why your growth and development is going to be so great. And then when we back it up with all those meditations and all your mind meds, right? And we stocked our whole vault. If you were here when I showed you the vault, we stocked the whole vault with more of these binaural mind meds that are for different areas, whether it's love or diet, or maybe you're just kind of sloppy or whatever, okay? Different things for different areas of your life. But when you start naming other people theirs, it takes that agitation away from the relationship and from yourself. Like, for example, I am the world's worst cook, and my parents owned restaurants and were fabulous cooks and chefs and all this stuff, and I'm the worst. And so I burn things. I am on a speed dial relationship with the fire department. I know them by name. And so if I cook, the alarms go off. So every single one of my houses has no smoke detectors. I just take them off. I know how bad it gets. And it's I'm so bad, I get bored and I walk away, and then it all burns. And that's really the genesis of it, right? So one day I'm attempting to do this thing called cooking. My partner comes in and he's like, it's smelling bad, it's looking bad. And I had a hard day. It's like, just, it's enough that I have to do everything today. And then I got to cook. And I'm like, Monica's all at the stove. And he goes, so Monica's cooking today. How about if we just go out? And I just relaxed and I laughed and I realized, why am I so uptight, right? I can't cook. I shouldn't try, right? But if he didn't call me out as Monica and he goes, are you trying to cook? You can't cook. Your stuff is so bad, right? And that could have been a big fight, okay? So think about that. Name everybody. If you've got people that trigger you, give them their own Monica name. You don't even have to tell them, right? Some other clues, it can be characters. It could be Barbie and Ken. We've had G.I. Joe. We've had Yosemite Sam. We've had the Pooh character. We've had, who is it? Fred and Barney. There's so many different fun things. We've got Angie's son is Mr. Grumpy Pants. Okay. So you just have a fun name. Do not name it somebody like your mother's name, right? Because you're just going to re-trigger memories of your mother. You want this to be a fun, playful thing, right? And then you will be able to bypass the ego. Okay. This is not spiritual bypass. If you're familiar with that concept, you're not avoiding addressing something, right? You're just rising above it. And here's the thing, is this making sense to you guys? Hey, Nadine, it's good to see you here too. So a quote I always like to say is, pick up your mat and walk, right? It's a spiritual line. And what that means is you don't have to go fix the past. It can't be fixed. Okay. The only way that you can fix the past is by transcending your memory of it. Okay. And when you change how you view that, you change. Okay. And when you change, you will change how you view it. So it's a constant cycle and a process. So the only thing you have to do is work on yourself. And that's where this comes in. Okay. And it's the same thing if you're in a relationship. Maybe nobody supports you in your business, or, your family's whatever. I always say, people like, can you go, Connie, you're so good at relationships. Can you please go talk to my husband or my best friend? Or could you work with my boss, right? Can I give up one of my sessions and have you talk to them? And my answer, in case you're going to ask me, and you probably will at some point, is I always say, no, I only work with the one in front of me. Okay. I only have to deal with you. Okay. And your entire relationship will change. It only takes one person to change a relationship, and you will change the relationship with yourself. And you will change your relationship with your business. You'll change your relationship with your money, with your body, right? With your environment. You will stop attracting those kind of people, right? If you've always been saying, God, people are always broke, or people are this, or my clients are this, it's you. Okay. It's you've got all of these links. Like, if you don't like your client base, guess who they are and where are they? They're shoved up in your head. Okay. And the reason you're having such a hard time, like with people like this, I don't want more clients, right? It's because it's in you. And when you get it out, you will no longer have that issue. Okay. And you will no longer be around people that say, oh, that's stupid. You can't do that. Everyone said I couldn't go from 0 to 1 million in a year. Everyone, even my coach, right? And then they say, well, we get together with people in our coaching group, and I say, well, this is my thing. I take people from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less. Everybody'd laugh, like, you should change that. No, that's not good. Just go from, to 6 figures. And I'm just like, and guess what? I rose above that, and I rose above them. Okay. They're still somewhere down there. Okay. You will rise above everybody. When they say it's lonely at the top, guys, it's okay. Okay. Because there's better people up here, but you will change your environment. Okay. You'll change where you live, how you look at things and dress, but you will also change the people, because if you're not where you want to be, you've surrounded yourself with people that keep you there. They're a lid. Okay. And you have to break free of that. And as you go through this, you will also understand how to get over the feeling of loss, right? And you go through the 5 stages of grief when you lose a friend that you've been knowing for a long period of time. And you can change the relationship, but most of the time, unless they're going through a transformation with you, they will leave you before you leave them. Okay. They won't be comfortable as you're rising up, but as you're rising up, you won't miss being down here. Okay. I'm just telling you how it is, because it will happen all the time. And if you start to go backwards, this is why you didn't prepare your mind for this and for the real you. It's not that you are changing. Okay. It is that you are being revealed. You are the golden Buddha, and we're washing off all of the mud. Okay. All of the mud is going away, and all you're left with is the shining golden Buddha. Okay. You're not different. You're just the real you. And the world has just thrown all kinds of mud pies at you, right? And covered you up. So this is the most important thing you can do. We started with this on day 1, talking about the different blocks, right? And how most of you aren't just green, blue, or orange, right? But you're like this. You're just all twisted up, and you can't get one solid side to make sense, right? And then what are the people trying to do? They're trying to get, oops, throw that away. They're trying to get balance. If you've ever tried to say, I need balance, I want to balance my life, okay? No, okay? The only way you're going to balance your life is by having the right shape, okay? And you don't balance a circle, okay? So you have to be in the right business model, okay? You have to have the right model to have balance. So this is a square, right? Any way, or a cube, any way I go, it's 100% balanced, okay? It's just inherent in that, okay? And that's what we're doing with you. That's why everything is what we call 4 square methodologies, okay? When we keep you in these 4 square methodologies, no matter what you're doing, you're 100% balanced all the time, okay? Now, balance doesn't mean you spend 4 hours with the family and 4 hours at business and all that. You're radically imbalanced. The balance is in the focus, okay? So your focus is balanced on the thing you're going for, all right? And if I'm going to go, when I went all for my million in 1 year, there were things I didn't do. I wasn't really social, okay? I didn't go out with all my friends and party all the time. So I didn't take a lot of vacations during that time, and that was it imbalanced? No, it was perfectly balanced to my agenda, okay? And so people have this thing backwards about balance. It's not a democracy, right? You get 4 hours, you get 4 hours, you get 4 hours, right? Like Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, right? That's not it, all right? Balance is having the right model, right? And you align with that, okay? And so that is what we teach you. We will get you into the right model. We will align your business, and you will fall in love because the business will be aligned with you. Okay. We're going to be there for you the whole time. So I told you the 3 levels. We're going to coach, consult, and mentor. Mentor is very, very important. Why didn't I heal after 6 months of compound PTSD training with some of the best in the world? Because nobody had been there. They didn't do it. They didn't go through that. Okay. So that's what we're going to do with you. And I always say there's 2 types of people, those that want change and those that watch change. The question is, which one are you? Okay. And this is why you're learning SOAR and all the AI tech that goes with it. And once you identify who and how you are, it's so easy to identify who others are and identify your market and the people and whether or not you're going to deal with them. You don't need to spend time with broke people. Okay. We just don't do that. We don't do work for free. None of that. Okay. There's nothing honorable about that unless you're building a philanthropic organization. Okay. And that's the biggest sale there ever is. Right. So the other thing we're going to balance with you is your time. I'll bet you all of you feel like there's just not enough time, or your time is sucked away, or you wasted time. We're going to be teaching you the 5-hour CEO workday. So it's a whole program that we have, and it's built into your planner. Okay. So it's automatic. And we start that on week number 1. So you don't even have to worry. We also follow up and make sure that you're getting this and that you're doing it, because your ego is going to want to pull you off. We're going to keep you in line, right? You might take a scenic detour every once in a while, but we're going to pull you back. This program is so specific that, let's say you're going along and then you quit on day 8. Okay. And I talked to you 4 days later for your weekly call, and I noticed, and I can tell you quit on day 8. And you're like, wow, how'd you know that? And she could tell you. And she's like, she's not human. Well, no, it's the program. The transformation you have is so obvious that I've done this for over 5 years, that I know based on your behavior, right? Behavior never lies, exactly when you stopped, and that you stopped. Right. And then sometimes I have people that stop and they think, well, I'm not going to tell her. Just, it's so much. It's not so much. Right. You brush your teeth and you sit on the toilet, you take a shower. That takes longer than this. Okay. But you let your ego, your Monica, or your Marie, or your Jenny, or your Lisa take over. Okay. And so that's why we get together live every month and get you back in the game. Okay. And so before I let you go, again, based on your engagement, we'll pick a winner. And yesterday's winner, by the way, was Anne. So Anne, congratulations. You were the $1,000 winner for yesterday. Tomorrow we'll let you know who today's $1,000 winner is. So in this whole coaching, consulting, mentorship that we do with you, okay, you're going to have everything. You will have our iconic design group. We can design all the stuff for you. We do live engagement services. If you like having a team behind you, if you go live, we have that available. We have an email agency, so you do need to build up your database, but maybe you're not good at that. We have an agency that can do all of the emails for you. We have full service ads and SEO agencies. We have the funnel gallery, all your online assets. And we have Iconosphere is the software. It's all in one. So it's all in one place. So you don't have to have 14 different pieces of software. And so that way, when we build out a process or a framework, then we just pass it into your account and you have it all set up and done for you. So if you're like, oh, the tech, not the tech, okay, you don't have to do it, right? We can do all of that for you. I showed you guys yesterday the vault. And you can also look at anything here at iconicleadershipacademy.com. So you've got a law library in there. So you've got all your contracts when you're getting started. Maybe you need to set up your LLC. Maybe you need to hire people. You want to have an NDA if you're going to show other people things. We've got your dashboards, your OKRs, your KPIs, your goals, so you know how to track everything. It's also included in your planner. We have archives of everything that is still relevant for 4 years back. So, but if it's not relevant, like if it's talking about Snapchat or something, and like that's not anything, we would take that out. Okay. Every single week we add new material to the vault, so it's always ongoing, fresh. You get all the meditations and the funnel gallery, so that you have your online presence. And of course, we're talking about launches with AI and stuff. So you've got all the different launch modalities. Okay. The Blitz method, the fastest path to cash, bar none. That's what we teach primarily, 6 figures in 5 days. That's what you're doing right now. You can do summits, you can do stages. Okay. You can do micro TV shows, which are very, very lucrative. You could do podcast shows and podcast guesting. You can do this distinguished author program and launch a book. There's all different ways that you can launch, and we do all of them. We have all of the material on all of it. So all you have to do, if you got a scholarship, then let's cash it in. You have until Tuesday. So just go to callconnie.com, find a time so that it doesn't expire. Okay. And of course, you do have direct access to us. I don't disappear. I'm contractually obligated through your whole year to be working with you. So you have daily access to me and my team in the Mastermind Group 9 to 6. We train weekly on social media and AI. We train weekly on business scaling and strategies and one-to-one hot seats. And your question will be answered every single time. And we do have live monthly training and hot seats on Mind Mastery as well. So that when you join the Academy, it is very simple. You'll have a call, and on that call, we will figure out what is your strategy that you're doing now, what do you need to do, and then we will give you the best plan, and you will have all the information you need to make the most intelligent decision for you. Will our plan work for you? Okay. And then do you want to do it and just try it on your own? Or would you rather lock arms with us and have us guide you through the whole way as a coach, consultant, and mentor? Okay. And that's what happens on the call. If you decide, yes, I want to work with you, then you let us know. Do you want to get the advantages of paying full, or do you want a payment plan? You will register for your orientation class, and I walk you through and take you on a whole campus tour. And then you're going to complete a questionnaire. And it's a very detailed questionnaire about what you want your business to look like and what it does look like. And then I go off and meditate on that questionnaire for 3 days. And then we get together and we do that workshop where we design out your entire year based on what you want and who you are as a person, right? Because a lot of you just don't even know what you want. And like, I just want a business. I don't know what kind, but I'm doing this because I don't know what else to do. Okay. Book a call and we will help you figure all of that out. You either go to meetconnie.com or type #academy, and we'll get you all of the information on Monday after our noon show on Monday. I am going to do a Zoom. And I think that's the link, but it might not be. So just type #Zoom. I didn't double check it. Sorry about that. #Zoom, and we will put you in that Zoom call. And that way, if you want to have a talk with me personally and not just through a screen, then just type #Zoom and we will get you the link to that. So I just want you guys to really understand it's very, very, very important that you work on this. Okay. If your business isn't going right, it's because this isn't right. We do a lot of this. Okay. I want you to have this. You'll get the master class on it, the Iconic Mind training, the 5-day class that we have. You'll get the all the meditations in the podcast app, all the meditations that come with this. You will get the phone app, the desktop app, everything that comes with it. And it's just awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It is important. If you have questions, it's hard to tell everything in an hour, but I just want you guys to know that we're here for you. And just let us know when you're ready for your call. All you have to do is go #call and we will hop on a call. I am here through Tuesday at midnight, and then we will shut the doors. I literally leave town late Wednesday. And so that's it. Okay. So any and all of the bonuses are yours. If you got a scholarship or you got anything, you have to have your call in the books before Tuesday at midnight. I don't do exceptions. And if you won something and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to show up. Okay, you are eligible just one time. Okay, so if I do another launch and I have a drawing and you win the thing, but you didn't show up, no, then you wouldn't be eligible for a future drawing. So this is your time. Take advantage of it now. Some of you have a lot, okay, and there's still 3 more days, so that you can 2 more days, and you can still add to your scholarship. Okay, so there's still an opportunity to add another couple $1,000 to your scholarship. So thanks for being here. We will put this up on a replay somewhere. We just don't know where. We might just email you because we are kind of limited in how we can do our outreach today. So thanks for being here, you guys. I will see you tomorrow. What a weekend, right? I will see you Monday, and we will be able to get back to the AI tech and how do you start implementing all of this. We'll see you then. Bye, everyone.